All right, we are officially live here in Facebook. So hopefully everybody is getting on here. I will be here for a little bit. So if you're here, let me know that you can see me, hear me. And we're going to get started here in a few minutes. I just want to make sure that it's actually plugged in. So now we had a ton of people looking forward to this. So let me know that you can see this and hear this. And okay, cool. Seeing here, we got somebody on board. Sweet. And awesome. Sweet. It shows up here. Okay, hide. That's nice. Very cool. Welcome, everybody. And I'm going to maximize this. And then actually, I'm going to not maximize that. All right, cool. Well, welcome. I'm super excited about today. So today we are going to cover a lot of amazing things. First off, I want to welcome you to this webinar training. And here's kind of the overview of what we're going to do. So today, first and foremost, I'm going to give some context to what we're going to go through, which is you're going to learn about solidifying your goals and aligning them for this new year. Now, some of you are brand new to this group, new to the world of alignment. So I'm going to give some context before we go into the content. That way you can apply it and actually get the results that you're looking for. And yeah, so for some reason, it's not showing who is commenting. So if you do comment, let me know your name. Drew, awesome. Nice to see you there. And go ahead right now while you're in Facebook, just drop your name and where you're from first off as we get started today. So where are you from and who are you? And we'll kind of go from there. Maybe I'll have to mute my Facebook, or let me close my Facebook, see if it doesn't. So I close that. Can you guys still hear me and see me? I just exited out my Facebook tab. Is it still like going? Okay, cool. I think it is. Sweet. So we've got let's see who we all got. Should you take notes? Yes, I highly suggest that. Kirsten, Utah, Vicky, Utah, Berlin, New York City, Mary Black, Idaho, Sheena from Utah. We've got someone else from Idaho, and Deborah from Nashville, Tennessee, Sherilyn from Utah, Valerie, Utah, awesome. Rebecca, St. John's, Florida, woohoo, awesome. Bluffdale, Phoenix, Jasmine, welcome. Price, Utah, very cool. Idaho, Brandon Price, Utah. Looks like we got a bunch of Utahns, some Californians. All right. See some Georgia, Arizonans, Phoenix. Nice. Well, welcome, Stanley, Washington. Awesome. Well, I'm so stoked for today. Okay. So I'm glad this is working. After we're done, it should save to the Facebook group. I'm hoping. And we'll see. All right. Otherwise, I might have to redo this thing. But I think it should save to the Facebook group. So you can watch this again if you can't make it all or you miss something. Now, 3 things I want to cover before we dive in. Number 1, I'm going to cover a little bit about who I am. But in this training, we're going to cover your goals. We're going to go over about 5 different categories of goals. We're going to solidify those goals. Then we're going to talk about last year. And we're going to uncover some of the things that happened last year. And I know some of you are like, oh no, we don't talk about that. Yeah, I watched a movie. It's like, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about last year, but we're actually going to talk about last year. It's not as frightening as it might have felt. And we're going to go into last year and break down who you were, what you went through, and how to change those past patterns of last year so that they don't continue on this year, and how to take the good things from last year and continue doing them this year. Cool? So we're going to cover a lot of that. And then we're going to get into the actual aligning processes that we go through in transforming ourselves. So it's going to be awesome. I'm bunkering down for anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours is what I'm thinking this training will be like. It's going to be a complete training. So this is going to be very thorough. My goal is that by using these 2 hours or more or less, This will save you hundreds of hours in the future. Okay. So no matter what you got going on, I'm just going to invite you to get as present as possible, because what we're about to go through, if you use it, can completely change your life. And it's going to be so awesome. When we start talking about Bruno, we find out he isn't as bad as we thought, right? I know. I love that movie. One of my favorite movies so far. So awesome. Okay. With that, also, I have a lot of people inquiring about how do they get certified as an instructor, as a practitioner, and all of that. At the end of this, I'm going to share with you just highlights of what that looks like, because we actually start in 2 weeks our yearly certification. So if you want to be able to go teach and make money and help people and go do that, I'll share a little bit about that at the end. And it's not going to be like a big sales thing. I'm just going to share highlights. And then if you want to talk, you can book a consult and we can spend the time doing that. Because in this one, I really want to focus on aligning your New Year's goals. All right. Cool. Yeah, instructor certification rocks. Yeah, I know many of you have already signed up, so I'm so excited for that. Okay. All right. I actually took notes. Usually, you guys know, for those of you who have taken my courses and stuff, I usually don't follow notes, but we're actually going to do that this time because I have a lot of things to cover. Cool. All right. So first off, let's drop an intention. Set some intentions for this transformation, whether you're on the recording or live. Intentions are key to success. Why are you here? What is your purpose in being live here or watching this recording? Go ahead, drop in the comments. Why are you here? What do you want to get out of this? Like, by the time you're done going through this, you're taking time out of your life. Why are you here? And what do you want to get because of dedicating your time and energy in this course right now? Go ahead, put that in the comments. Focus your intention. What you intend will tend to happen. What you don't intend doesn't tend to happen. I'm a huge fan of intentions and focus, because where you focus, things start to grow and you start to actually create more in that realm. All right, we've got to make no more fear, make goals clear, increase my income. Love it. Yeah. Okay. And as you go through this, here's my other thought to this. Little bit of background about me, then we're going to dive into the content. So, quick story. My name's Tyler Watson. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of the Abundance Alignment Technique. I have 3 beautiful girls who are 6, 4, and almost 1 years old next week, I believe. 2 weeks, she'll be 1. And I am passionate and slightly obsessed with helping people get really cool results. So my number one goal is to help you get your goals faster so that you can become that person who has the true freedom inside to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want it. Cool. So back 6, 7 years ago, many of you know my story, but I'm just going to share the highlights. I struggled with pornography, addictions to video games, depression, suicidal thoughts, tendencies. And that all started when I was like 12 years old. I know I look like I'm like 17 now, but I'm actually in my 30s. So I've been through it for a little while, and it was not fun. And I had tried a lot of different things. I tried all sorts of techniques and processes, and it took a lot of repetition, a lot of passion, and a lot of frustration. And I was tired of that. I wanted something that like could get to the core of true transformation. So in the middle of the night, after a lot of studying, I had a download. I believe it was from God, my higher power. And as I took on this idea, I realized that the only reason that we struggle with something in life, the only reason, is due to an allergy or an addiction. An addiction is what we hold on to that doesn't serve us. An allergy is what we push away that we want. So there is a fight flight to everything. There's a push and pull to everything. And if you're pushing away your goal, like 2022 goals, you're so excited about them, you write them down, right? But some of you have been pushing away your goals, literally self-sabotaging, going in circles, taking way too long to get there. And others have been holding on to your past patterns, things that are not serving you, things that aren't healthy, aren't happy. So we want to change that. And the fastest way to change that is through aligning. So if you align, it neutralizes the fight flight responses and helps you be at full cause in your life. Okay. So that's what we're about today. I've been able to do quite a few things. So from being able to go speak on stages, make hundreds of thousands of dollars. We got our 2 Comma Club award, which means we made over $1 million in one funnel. Been able to write 2 books. Been able to do a lot of cool stuff. And I'm the kid from Arkansas who has a gap in his teeth and never had anything going for him. So if I can do it, I believe literally anyone on this planet can. And I know that you don't have to be born into the family. You don't have to have it going for you. I had everything against me, but I knew that change could be possible and it didn't have to take years. So what we're going to go through is how to make those changes real and lasting. And some of you have done aligning in the past and still have your addictions because you didn't align that right thing, right? Or that next thing comes up. So whether you're new or advanced, this is going to be phenomenal because it's, number one, going to help provide clarity for your goals. Number two, going to help you shift that junk from the past, take on the greatness into your future. And number three, help it become a reality, give you actual tangible steps to take so that you can go get your goals. Cool? All right. So with that, that's my background. And I could tell a lot more things. We've had people make a lot of money doing this. We've had people change physical symptoms, health stuff, all sorts of things. If you haven't checked it out, read the book or go through the guides in this Facebook page, right? So I'm going to read a couple of these goals. This is awesome. I love seeing this. And then we're going to dive in and show you how to get this rocking. So based on what I said, how many of you are excited to be here? Yeah. All right. Personal health, provide family and serve, be comfortable, success in my own business, goals for the year, finish and publish my book, boom, pay off consumer debt, finish that, no napping, high sex drive, high temp, boom. I love it. Way to go. I love these goals. Clarity on goal creation, increase income, improve health and relationships, gain clarity and focus around achieving goals. Something needs to be changed big time. I want my goals to become a reality. I want clarity and focus, increase my motivation to act. Good. Purpose and getting clear on what it looks like. Starting to have $20,000 a month. Yeah. Love it. Making this work for me on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally. Balance. Align my 2022 goals. Clarity becomes unstoppable. Confidence. Boom. I love this. This is all so good. Thanks for sharing all this stuff, guys. Building and accumulating wealth. Getting 150K monthly. I deserve a life of billionaires lifestyle. Okay, good. Tend to starting 100 families and bring $100,000. Yeah. Whoo. Love this. Big virtual round of applause to all those intentions. I'm so excited for them. This is going to be one epic training and one epic year. Okay. So with that, let's talk about Bruno. Let's talk about last year. Let's talk about last year's goals. All right. So my question to you is where, and this first phase is internal. Okay. This first part is internal. Then we're going to go logical. Then we're going to go cellular. So I have it divided into 3 parts. So this first part is a lot of internal reflection. That way we can get really clear. Okay. So some of you, this will drive crazy. Some of you, this will be amazing, but just be patient with it. Okay. So this year, I'm going to drill a bunch of questions. Then we're going to talk specifics on goal setting to hit the logical brain. Then we're actually going to go align and hit the emotional cellular level. So with that, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. You can write these down on a piece of paper if you'd like, or put them in the chat. This is more self-reflecting. So sometimes it helps if you put it out in public. That's totally cool. Or you can just write it down. So get something to write with or write on, because now I'm going to have you write down the answers to these questions. So number 1, who were you last year? When you think about last year and the thing that you experienced, who were you over the whole year? Think about 2021 from January all the way to December. Like if you summed up you as a whole and you could sum it into 1 or 2 words, who were you? So why don't you go ahead and write that down? Number 2, what did you achieve? What did you achieve? And I'm going to go kind of fast. So if you need to take time and pause this and stuff, totally fine. But later in and down the road. But I'm going to go kind of fast because we got to get through this. What did you achieve? So when you think about all the things that you accomplished, what did you achieve? Okay, so jot down a couple answers that come to your mind. What did you achieve? The next question is, are you happy with the progress that you made? Are you happy with the progress that you made? So thinking about who you were last year, who the journey of the person that you went on from January to December, we're wrapping up on it, who you were, and what did you achieve? And are you happy with what the progress that you made? Okay? That's the first couple questions. I want you just to reflect. There's no right or wrong answer to this. This is not like a, what's the right answer, Tyler? No, this is just to self-reflect, to get you prepared to confront stuff, shift things, and actually make some cool things happen. All right. So based on last year, the person that you were, what was one thing that you didn't like about yourself? One thing you didn't like about yourself last year. So just think about that, jot that down. One thing you didn't like about yourself. Also, what's one thing you felt that you fell short on or you failed at? Maybe a goal that you didn't make. What is one thing that you fell short on? Okay, so one thing you didn't like about yourself last year, and then one thing you fell short on. Also thinking about last year, what's the thing that you loved most about yourself? The thing that you loved most about yourself. So the thing that you loved most about yourself last year, think about the journey you went on, everything, all the choices you made financially, health-wise, relationships. What's the one thing that you were like, wow, I did this well? I want you to own that. Okay? And I see some awesome stuff here, by the way, like people creating things, making money, healing. This is awesome. I love seeing this. And again, for those of you, if you do put stuff in the chat, don't compare. We're all in different worlds, different places, different times. And there is no right or wrong. There is no good, better, or best. It's just where you're at. This is all about you and changing you this year. Okay? Okay. So as you think about last year, if you could sum up last year in one word, what would that one word be? Positive word and negative word. So if you think about last year, all that you went through, for example, like us, I would say last year, like the positive, like if I think about all the year that I went through, I like the one word that summed it up was like, and it could be two words, like nailed it. Like I just feel like last year we just nailed it. The negative word I feel like was it's like, and you might have to sum it up with like a feeling or emotion, but it was like riding a wave that the wave was in control and not us. So if we ever were like, hey, let's stop for a second, you'd get pummeled and crushed, right? So that was like not ideal. I felt like it was like time controlled me. That was kind of the feeling of the negative of last year. The ideal was like crushed it, nailed it, right? So you want to look at what was ideal and what was not ideal last year. Okay. Awesome. More risk taker, foundations, change, growth, grief. Perfect. Okay. So when you think about that, you got the negative, the positive, or the ideal. This year, when you think about, let's just wrap up last year. So after the word that sums up last year that you did, the negative and the positive, if you think about moving forward, now, first off, there's got to be closure to things, right? So sometimes people don't close things. And if you don't have closed stuff, it causes unmotivation. So if I open up a goal and I never have any closure or any progress with it, I'm going to start to feel unmotivated because it never feels like anything finishes. So there's power in finishing energy. Keep that in mind as you're going and setting goals this year. So I like to be like, okay, this year is done. I have completed everything. And I just like vocally acknowledge that. Like, I have finished last year. I'm so grateful for it. It was exciting. New year. Like all my goals that I didn't achieve, cool. Awesome. I'm done with those. Those are not even happening. I'm changing. New goals, new focus, new me, right? So you might just have to think that or vocalize it to help close the year so you can start a new year. Okay. So if it helps to vocalize, for me, I like vocalizing things, helps me feel more real to me. Some of you are more logical. You can just logically like think it. So go ahead and do that. And now we're going to go through thinking about this year. Okay. What changes need to happen this year? For this year to be the most incredible year of your life, what changes need to happen not outside of you, but inside of you? So, oh, my spouse needs to do this, or blah, 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 or the president needs to blah, blah. No, those are all external things. This is all internal. So, what changes do you need to make, or what changes need to happen for you for this year to be the most incredible year of your life? I want you to take a few, like even just a minute to mull over that. So I'll give you a minute. I really want you to think about it. What changes need to happen in your life for this year to be by far the best year of your entire life? And I know that's saying something pretty big because some of you have had some amazing years. Some of you might have had some crappy years. Some of you had mixtures, right? But what has to change inside of you to make this year the best year of your life? Go ahead and jot that down. And really like take some time to ponder. Like, so if I think about it, the more real you get and the more vulnerable you get going through this, the better this will be. So here's some examples. Sometimes when we go through trainings, it's easy just to put out surface stuff. Like, oh yeah, I'll just do this, because it stops us from actually having to look at stuff. So I'm going to invite you as you go through this training to be open, to go deeper. When I ask questions, to don't take just the first answer, but to open and try to dig in a little deeper. Okay, the deeper you can dive in on these questions as we go through the aligning phase, it'll be even more effective. Okay, so if I think about like the thing that I'm like, who do I need to become this year? Like the one word that sums up this year for me is disciplined. So for me, I feel like my main focus this year is disciplined. And I had to redefine that word for those of you who know what that means, because discipline wasn't an ideal thing for me. It felt trapped. It felt unmotivating. It felt like getting in trouble. So I had to redefine it and align it to say, like, actually, discipline is power. Discipline is being able to get what I want very quickly. Discipline is focus. Discipline is nailing something even better with me being in control of my time, right? So, like, it's looking at myself and saying, what changes need to happen. So I know in my food, I'm changing my food diets and stuff. I'm changing my habits. I'm changing how I read. I'm changing a lot of stuff because I know where I want to go is not who I am. And I got to change this guy, right? So with that, kind of a similar question, but a little bit different. Who do you need to become? Who do you need to become in order to achieve the things that you want? And we haven't even mapped out what you want yet, but these are just questions to ponder before we get really structured on the things that you're creating. And some of you already have that, so that's great. But who do you need to become? Like if you think of your ideal you and think about all your goals that you want to attain, okay? So here's your goals over here. Here's you here. If you had to create a version of you that met these standards and achieve this. So here's the Tyler of today. Here's Tyler's goals by the end of the year of the things that I want to create. And I have things from relationships and health and money and all these great goals. The Tyler I am today, it's impossible for him to attain this. Otherwise, he'd already be there. So I have to look at this and say, okay, the ideal Tyler, what does he look like that would be in this situation to have all these amazing goals that I have? So first off, he'd be really disciplined. He'd be passionate. He'd be even more consistent. He'd be more present. He'd be in charge of his time all the time. He'd be a team player. He'd incorporate, he'd focus on his wife more. He would be able to spend more time with his kids and teach them throughout the week, some of their school. So, like, all these things that I have around who the identity of Tyler is, that is the goal of to become that person so that those goals become like breathing. It's just second nature. It's like normal, right? I remember back when I first started trying to make money, I struggled a lot. And it was tough for me to make even $1,000 a month. Like, that was so hard. And it felt like pulling teeth trying to go get a sale. Like, it felt like the worst thing ever. It felt like hell. Like, if hell had a hell, it felt like going and trying to sell something to somebody. It totally failed, backfired. It was horrible. And I had a goal, though, to make $10,000 in a month. So my goal was $10,000 in a month. Here was little Tyler making less than $1,500. I was addicted mind, all this struggle. He was incapable of that. So I had to ask myself, well, what kind of Tyler, what person would be capable of this? Well, he would have more fun. He would not be addicted to these things. He could be more present. He could be more passionate. So as I became that, once I started to make $10,000 in a month, it felt as if it was perfectly natural. It was like the easiest thing because I had already become that person. And the goals of tomorrow, the only reason you don't have it is because you haven't become that person capable of attaining it, of receiving it, right? So the goal here is, who do we need to become to completely transform? Okay, you guys are doing good. I love these answers: confidence in making meaning, gratitude, discipline and putting my business first. I'm creating new habits. Love this. Love these answers. Thanks for sharing, guys. Confident woman who's completely unattached to the outcome. Ooh, that's good. Who am I becoming this year is recognized as expert in family relationships. Love this. So cool. So cool. All right. Very cool. So now that we have some context through this, through last year and this year of who we're becoming, let's get specific. Okay. So now we're going to get specific on some of the goals that you want to attain. So let's get specific. I know that you have a lot of goals. We're just going to get like 4 categories here. First thing, well, let's talk about this before we even get into the goal part. With goal setting, talking about fight, flight responses, definitions, real quick about this. Every goal that you desire, if it's not being attained, it's because some part of you has a past interpretation or a definition that is pushing that thing away. It's allergic, right? Or is holding on to a current idea of what that represents in a negative way, or what something that's not positive or not ideal that's happening, it's holding on to that as well. So as you're thinking about setting goals, if I say goal setting, set your New Year's goals. Some of you have had the past experiences that when you set a goal, you fail. You don't attain it. It's painful. It's frustrating. It never happens. Why even bother? Why try? I get overwhelmed. It's too hard. Time consuming. Takes me away from my family. Takes me away from my health. We have these past perceptions about the words goals or goal setting. Okay. Also around goal achieving, goal attaining, that can create a different response in the body. So when I used to think of attaining a goal, it used to feel difficult, like pulling teeth, super hard, impossible, possible for other people, but not me. I'm not good enough. I haven't learned enough. I don't look good enough. I'm too young. And the list went on and on and on. So goal achieving was difficult for me. Goal setting wasn't even a thing because I hated it. And it represented pain and frustration and letdown. Anyone concur? Anyone ever felt that way before? Right? Also, what about the definition of success? Some of you, success, some of your past perceptions of success is it's unattainable. It's not me. It's someone else. I can't do it. It's too hard or too complicated, or I was there once. I'm past my prime. I can't duplicate it. I can't be consistent, right? So we have these negative patterns, negative associations tied to positive words. Others, you might have failure, the word failure. Some of you have tied positive associations to the word failure, like the only way I can learn is if I fail. I have to fail to come closer to God. I have to fail to not outshine other people. Failure keeps me safe. And we have these patterns that don't serve us regarding words that we're using every day, including setting our New Year's goals. My challenge to you is, as we're going through this process, to be conscious, to be aware of some of these patterns that you might have regarding the words that we're using. Okay? These are called definitions. They're based on what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've experienced, what you've felt. So all those things, anything that you've experienced in life, sight, sound, all the senses, those can become a part of your definition of those words. And if your body has become addicted to the negative words or the words that are not serving you, it will recreate them. It will continue to create them. So for me, when I thought about being consistent, the only thing tied to consistency for me was pornography, video game addiction, depression, because I knew it was just consistent. So when I was like, I want to make consistent sales, guess what my body thought it wanted? Well, the only thing it knew how to be consistent at was failing and struggle. So it caused more failures and struggles. Not ideal, right? So I had to go and change that. And we're going to do that here in a little bit. Don't worry, but I got to get this to you guys so that as you're setting goals, it's not just the goal that matters. It's the body's interpretation of the goal that matters. You guys following this? This is making sense? Because if your body doesn't interpret the goal how you ideally want it, you will never attain the goal. You will spend years chasing it, years hoping to attain the goal and never doing it. And when thinking and starting to self-sabotage and turn in and be like, oh man, I can't do this, right? So changing the paradigm, the perceptions, and how our body responds. I had to change consistency to being consistency. Oh, cool. Consistency means doing something over and over and over that I enjoy. And at first, logically, I couldn't even like I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But my body was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. The only thing you're good at, Tyler, is failure and struggle. Do that again. So you got to keep going, right? Make those changes. All right. Is this helpful? Okay. Very good. I haven't asked any questions yet. I'm just sharing some context here so that when we get into the processes that it actually shifts. But I want to make sure that you're getting this. Like, this is all about defining things and seeing that the words have multiple meanings to them in your body, right? All right, cool. So thinking about that now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the goal setting. Okay. And if you have any questions up to this point, feel free to post it in the comments. I'm going to try to catch them and stuff. Cool. Okay. Okay. Question on goal setting. Let's set some goals. What is your goal currently? Well, actually, let's do some, we'll just set current goals. Okay. So what is your current goal financially? Financially, current goal, write it down. Financially, what is your current goal this year? So 1 year from today, end of year, like a year from today, you've gone on the journey, you've transformed, you've learned, you've applied, you've shifted, you've gotten out of yourself. You're like totally taking on this new identity of who you want to be. You've shifted your addictions and allergic responses. You're like the rock star you. What's your goal? 1 year out from today, you'd be really happy with. You'd be like, sweet. This is awesome. Feels really good. And it doesn't have to be extremely high or super low or anything, just whatever your goal is, make it real. Like this is your goal. And when I say goal, I'm not just saying a wish, but something you're going to work your butt off and get and nail and change and become and do. Okay. That's the type of thing we're talking about, is like the goal that you want. So what goal do you have for 1 year financially? Go ahead, write that down. What goal do you have relationship wise? So when you think of a relationship, whether with a loved one or a future loved one, spouse, family, future spouse, whatever it is, what's your number one goal a year from today? How would you like the relationship to be? What is your goal relationship wise? Go ahead, write that down, and let's get as specific as possible for relationship. So think about relationship. Good. I love seeing some of these things. Finish double bachelor, start social, 150 month, 100K. Love it. Boom, 950, 1,000, 100K every month. Love this. Be a better communicator and listener. Open communication. Great. So goal relationship wise. So now you've got financial, relationship. What about personal in health? What about your health goal? What is your health focus this year? So think about ideally like who you're becoming, who you're going to be, the health that you'll have by the end of this year. Who is that person? How do they show up regarding your health? Go ahead and jot that down. Okay. All right. So you've got your financial goal, you got your relationship goal, you got your health goal. What about your spirituality goal? So your spirituality goal, like what is your spirituality goal? This could be give back. This could be spiritually in tuning, whatever it is for you, your definition of spiritual. But what is your spiritual goal? By the end of the year, who do you want to be spiritually? Go ahead and write that down. Very cool. So now you've got how much money you're going to make by the end of the year, the relationship that you want, the health that you want, and the spirituality that you want to tap into, who you want to become. What adventure do you want to experience this year? Like travel or adventures that you want to, memories that you want to make. Like what kind of fun, adventurous thing do you want to have happen this year? What's your adventure goal? So go ahead and write down your adventure goal for what you're creating, who you want to be, the experiences that you want to have. And I get it. Like when I went through this, it took me like 3 hours. My wife and I, we went through and did a whole big version of this. So we're not going to do it all and wait and like dive in deeper and deeper. If you have to like take more time outside of this and do that, totally cool. I highly encourage it to get really specific, but take time. Really tuning in, like, what is it that you want and who do you want to be with that? Love this. Thanks for sharing, everybody. See these coming in. Okay. Very cool. So you've got relationship, health, financial, spiritual, adventure. Good. And is there any other goal that comes to your mind that you're like, for me to feel really fulfilled, by the time this year goes by, 1 year, and I've been on this journey of transformation, really changed, like just owning it, like doing all these things. What other goal do you have that might not even have a category, or it might just be in one of those subcategories or something? But What other goal is important to you that you would love to really focus on this year? So go ahead and write all those down. Okay, I love seeing some of these. Be more adventurous and living life to the fullest. Better order my house. Adventure goal: have all my trips to Germany and Florida be relaxing. Love it. More family. Go to New Zealand. Very cool. International travel with my family. Love these. Okay. Okay. So when you think about where you're going, who you're going to be, now the key is all right. Based on all of these things that you want and that you're like embracing, what do you feel like is the number one pattern or identity that's going to fight this? So if you're, let me try to share my screen here. Share screen. Let me see if this works. Maybe it will. Let's see here. Give me a second here. StreamYard. No. Maybe it won't do it that way. Well, so I'm sharing my screen of sharing my screen, but hold on a second. Let me pull this up. Oops. See if it pops up. Maybe not. All right, let me end the screen share. It did not work. Stop sharing. Okay, well, anyway, I won't draw it out. I don't think, yeah. Bummer. All right. So anyway, I'll draw it with my fingers. So imagine you're here, right? This is who you are, your identity, and you're trying to go over here. What's the obstacles, the perceived obstacles based on your past perceptions that are going to stop you? They're going to try to slow you down. So here you are, and you're like, this person right now, you have your goal over here. You're like, this is where I want to be. And knowing that you're going on that trajectory, stuff is going to happen to try to stop you. Like, it's ignorant to think that it won't. So what is going to try to stop you? And the biggest thing that you can think of like the most resistance that you have getting that goal, write that down. So the biggest resistance is what? Once you have the biggest resistance, okay, then I'm going to ask you, let's say that thing wasn't an issue anymore. Let's say you totally solved it. And this is where I'm going to have you dive a little deeper. Let's say you solve that. Done. That thing's not a problem anymore. What's the second thing that's going to try to stop you? Let's say that's completely solved. You're like, dude, I can totally nail that. That's not even my identity anymore. What's the next thing that's going to stop you? So imagine that thing's gone. What's the next thing that's going to keep you from your goal? Let's say that thing's gone. So once you figure that out, let's say that thing's aligned. It's totally changed. What's the next thing? So the big thing's gone. The second big thing's gone. What else could try to stop you from getting your goal, from actually attaining that and nailing it and just owning that? What's the next belief? The next obstacle, pattern? What else might keep you from your greatness this year? Go ahead and jot that down. Good. And the more specific, the better. Okay. So when we generalize things like beliefs, generalities protect us from specificity. Specificity recreates pain, so we avoid specificity. So the actual goal is to get as specific as possible. When you set goals, when you think about what's stopping you, the more specific you can get, the faster you actually attain your goals. Okay. So when I'm coaching someone, and in our group coaching that we do, and when I'm coaching people one-on-one, I like to help them get very specific, because I know if they're generalizing, it's out of avoidance. And we avoid getting specific because the moment we get specific, it means that we can actually control the thing. And sometimes our bodies fear that, because if we're specific, it can recreate some of the pain again. So I'm going to invite you to get really specific on these. Okay. Like, will it? And I know this is a process, and some of you guys might be tired and, oh, we've already been going 43 minutes or whatever. Like, get present and really focus on, okay, if you get this going on that goal, what's the thing that's going to stop you? Okay. If that was gone, totally didn't bother you anymore, new identity, what else would stop you? What if that was gone? New thing. And I want you to do this 5 times. So I want you to come up with 5 things that would stop you very specifically. Okay. So think about your goal that you're going for, and the top 5 things: beliefs, feelings, thoughts, emotions, whatever it might be, patterns, cycles that don't serve you, that are keeping you from that goal, right? So once you have all 5, just let me know in the chat. Be like, got it. Oh, wow, those were too easy to jot down. I love it. Some of you were like, this. Got it. Okay, good. I love seeing this. Awesome job getting specific. Okay, so now that you have some of your resistances, now thinking about who you need to become, because in goal attaining, it's never about the destination. It's always about the journey and who you are. So let's say you have all these goals, whether it's financial, relationship, health, you have all these different areas, adventure, right? You have these goals. Here you are. And as you're going towards these goals, the key is, who do I need to become so that I resonate on the same frequency as these goals, so that it's second nature? We are united. It's one, right? So when things are disconnected, there is no unity occurring. And disassociation or pain is a disconnection. So when we get disconnected from things, we separate to protect ourselves. Hence divorce. So they separate, right? Our body separates from itself, causes conflict inside, issues, autoimmune diseases. Our relationships, our money separates from us when there is pain or disconnection going on. So the key is, how can I reconnect and become one so that I am on the same frequency as these things, the things that I want? And these obstacles no longer faze me. In fact, they serve me. So you guys ready to dive in and make some shifts? Yeah? Cool. All right. Let's do this. All right. So, couple things as we do this. I need some water. Give me a second. I just did it like my first day of jujitsu after like 2.5 years. And I went like an hour and a half. I'm like so sore. Like, oh man, this is one of my goals. I'm like, I'm going to do jujitsu and I'm going to like rank up and I'm going to get super ripped. So I was like, I'm going to do it no matter what. So I'm feeling it. It's awesome. So if I look a little stiff, that's why. All right. Or if I can't swallow, it's because my neck was crushed. All right. But it's all good. All right. So here we go. Let's do some of this. So when you think about your goals, now you have an ideal vision of what you want. First off, is that exciting? Like, hopefully you should be excited about that. Some of you might not feel excited because it represents some of the pain of the past. But by the time we're done, we want it to feel exciting, right? Goal setting, we want it to feel fulfilling, easy, fun, motivating, changing, growing, super, super, super powerful, right? So we're going to do that. And now you want the not attaining to just be like, that's not me. Like, I don't not attain goals anymore. Like, I always conquer, right? Okay. So here we go. Couple things that we're going to align. Now, for those of you who know the alignment or don't know the alignment, what process we're going to go through, this is going to be a variation of intuitive and kind of like a shotgun method and lots of other methods all packed into one method here. So for those of you who want to learn the full one, at the end of this, I'll share with you a way to book a consult, explore getting certified, teaching it, or just learning it for yourself. Okay. For now, we're just going to go through a really cool process to align intuitively. So I want you to, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to tap on the forehead, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So this is the process. When I say align it, this is what I mean. So if I'm like, align this, you're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You're going to do this 3 times. Into the nose, out through the mouth, and then you're going to pant 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. And then you smile. Okay, so when I say align, that's the part that you use. Okay, so when you think of your goals, I want you to look at your ideal goals. And I want you to voice them out loud. So if you have you have 5 goals now, right? You have the money, relationships, health, spirituality, and adventure. So I want you to vocalize those out loud as if you've already attained them. So you could be like, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made $3 million. My relationship with my spouse is the most incredible it's ever been. I'm in tune with my kids. I have the best clients on the planet. My health, I have a 6-pack. I'm ripped 6-pack. I have more energy than I used to when I was a teenager. And spiritually, I'm more connected to God than I have been all year last year. I've been able to read my scriptures consistently and learn and have deep, intimate relationships and conversation with God. And wow, we went on all these amazing trips to Cancun and all sorts of cool places. And it was amazing. The people we met, the experiences we had, and had the adventure of our lifetime. So you can go through, just vocalize your goal out loud. Then I want you to, after you vocalize it, we're just going to do a couple places first. We're going to tap your heart and we're going to say, my heart is 100% aligned with my goals. And then we're going to align. And smile. Then you're going to look back over your goals. You could voice them again if you'd like, or just look at them. Then you're going to tap your brain and say, my brain is 100% aligned with my goals. And align. And smile. Good. You're going to look back over your goals. Tune into your goals with relationship, health, spirituality, adventure, finances. Think about them, tune into them. Now you're going to tap your adrenal glands, which are kind of in the back of your back here. And you're going to tap your adrenals and you're going to align your adrenal glands with them. And you're going to say, my adrenal glands are 100% aligned to my goals. And smile. Great. So now we're going to tap thyroid and say, my thyroid is 100% aligned to my goals. Look at your goals, think about them, and align them. And smile. Good. Now we're going to do a couple shifts here in a second, but we're going to go through just a couple physical stuff first. So look at your goals, think about them, review them, imagine yourself getting your goal, you attain it, you're there, you're already that person, you become it, you let go of the past patterns, and you're like feeling so excited, so on top of the world. You're like, oh my goodness, like this is truly me. This is my new version of me. This is how I show up. So now you're going to tap your throat area and you're just going to state, I can speak and live and be the person I need to be to attain my goals. I can speak, do, and be the person I need to be in order to attain my goals. And go ahead and align. And smile. Now you're going to tap your belly area and you're going to state, I am the person I need to be in order to attain my goals. I am the person I need to be in order to attain my goals. I love who I am. I love who I am. And then align. And smile. Good. Now, as you look at your goals, I want you to vocalize the biggest obstacle out loud. So think about your goal, that biggest obstacle that you vocalize, that you wrote down. I want you to vocalize it. So for me, if I think about who I'm going to become, my biggest obstacle feels like I'm too lazy. Like I feel like I'm going to be tired and I don't have enough energy to do everything. So that feels like the biggest belief or the biggest obstacle as I think about going into my goals. So I'm going to vocalize that as if it's real. So you're going to say, I'm too lazy, whatever yours is. Mine is, I'm too lazy and it's going to be too hard and it's going to take too much of my time and I can't do it. Like it'll be too much. Tap where you feel any of the resistance by vocalizing that negative thing. So for me, it's in my throat and a little bit in my back. And then align. And smile. Now look at your second limiting block. So if that was gone, my second limiting block is it's not going to be fun. Like I feel like I'm going to get so busy that I just won't be fun. And it feels like, whoa, this weight, everything that I'm working on and creating. Oh no, if all that was gone, oh no, now it's just not going to be fun. So I'm going to tap and just say, it's not going to be fun. And you vocalize the negative out loud. So it's not going to be fun. For me, it's like in my shoulder area. It's not going to be fun. And then you just kind of vocalize it, tap any resistances. It's not going to be fun. And then align. And smile. If you don't feel any resistance, just tap anywhere. Your body's very smart. It's very intuitive. It knows better than you know logically. So just tap anywhere you feel, anywhere, and you'll get used to actually feeling where it actually is. Okay. So now that you've done that, go through the third one. Okay. So look at the third limiting belief, that obstacle that's going to keep you. So if number 1 and 2 are gone, that third one that pops up, for me, it's like, oh man, I'm not going to be present with my family, or I'm going to get so busy with my work and love my work so much that I'll forget to spend quality time with my loved ones. So it's that fear of not being connected to my loved ones and being too involved in business. So then that becomes the fear. So I'm going to tap that wherever I feel it. For me, it's like in this heart area, kind of chest. Feels a little tension in my neck too. I'm just going to tap that while thinking that negative thing. And then I'm going to align. And smile. Good. Now you're going to do your fourth limitation. So as you hold your goal, that person you're going to become, the first big thing, it's gone, second, third. But what about that fourth obstacle that comes up? What's that fourth piece of resistance that might stop you? I feel like for me, it's like, I'm going to want to eat junk food. I'm going to want to like, if I'm attaining so many things, I'm going to want to like binge out on things that are not healthy. And I feel like it gives me joy when I overeat or I eat something that's not healthy and I know it's not healthy and I'm going to binge on that. And I feel like I'm going to be like this, rage monster, like eating this food. So then I'm going to tap that area wherever I feel it. And part of it's in my gut area and then some of it's in my throat. And then I'm going to align. And smile. Good. Now that you went through 1, 2, 3, and 4, imagine all those are gone. What about that fifth thing that might come up that stops you? What's that fifth one? For me, it's like, am I really ready to, it's like a feeling. Am I ready to be the person that God truly wants me to be? And it feels like if I am that person, I have to hold that space forever and it's going to be hard. Like, I'll feel like I'll let him down and other people down. So if I like become that and like nail out all my goals, then I'm going to let people down because I'm not perfect and I'm going to make mistakes. So it's like this feeling of, oh no, I'm going to let it down. I'm not going to be up to where I want to be. And then I'm going to let people down. So that is the resistance. So then I'm going to tap it and then align it. And smile. Very good. All right. So now that you've done those, before we continue the next part here, which is some really important phrases that I want to go through, let's hear some feedback. What are you guys experiencing, learning, and feeling as you're going through this process? Let's just get a couple comments to change the state here for a second. And let's see what you guys are experiencing or what questions you have, what things are coming up. I'd love to just answer a few questions, kind of change the state, see what you're experiencing, feeling, and then we'll go to the next piece here. Yeah, Melanie, I have a ton more than 5. Yeah, most of us do. We just wanted to go through. If we went through them all, we would do like a full alignment, right? And that takes some time to go through a lot of this. Lots of yawning and shifting, a slight feeling after each one, slight fog of mind, overwhelm, a little lightheaded, yawning. Okay, yeah, this is really great working with the resistances in this way, feeling lighter. Yeah, some of you are getting more overwhelmed because it's like actually coming up real. Some of you being opposite. And either way, it's totally fine. We'll work through it. It's going to be okay. Yawned a lot and felt like a lot, body intuitively, tears coming up, disappointment. Oh, yeah. Good. Holding myself back. Oh, lots of shifting, feeling emotional and overwhelmed. Okay, totally fine. Like sit through it. It's okay. You're in a good space to feel that overwhelm. And those of you who are feeling that negative stuff, I'm going to invite you just to sit with it for a second. Like this is the stuff that's kept you from your goal, that fear of feeling this. So we want to actually just be okay feeling this disappointment, feeling whatever it is, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, doesn't really matter. They're just emotions. They're just energy in motion. And so we are allowing them to move. winning self as a child on adolescent and adult. Oh, wow. Some of you guys are having incredible stuff. Not sure where to tap sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. We get analytical of like the right spot. It's okay. Don't worry about doing it right. Just do it and work through it. And then you'll get better as time goes. Very cool. I've never been able to get clear on what I want, but now I'm able to get more clear. Boom. I love that. This is awesome. Tired and feeling fears disapparate. Yeah. So what happens also, sometimes we'll have that tired feeling settle us because we're actually confronting things. Confronting things, what it does, it brings up all the unconsciousness, which makes us sleepy. So stick with it. Don't go to sleep. Like allow this to shift. Okay. I'm really trying to see and feel the positive parts of my goals. Cool. Tired and feeling the fears. Okay, cool. Smile through the season and she's on. Okay, yeah. I didn't allow her because she didn't fill out the questions, but I'll let her in. I know that now. She'll catch the recording. Okay. Okay. So now that we have this, because I can't dual wield. Okay. So now for all the resistance that's still there, I want you to pinpoint where you feel it the most. Maybe it's a tired, foggy headedness. Maybe it's disappointment. Maybe it's whatever it might be. Thinking about your goals, thinking about getting them. Where do you feel it? And I want you to point to that feeling of where it feels the most. Think about, and maybe it's a lot of stuff. This is a shortcut. We're just going to sum it all up. Pinpoint where you feel it the most. So like, all the resistances, let's say there's hundreds of them, like everything, all the limiting beliefs, all the doubts, all the uncertainties. If you packaged it up and it was inside of you, where would it be? Point to that spot. For me, as I think about it, it's going to be like right here in my sternum area. And now I want you to ask, what color is it? So if it has a color, what would it be? And just give it a color. For me, it's like a black. So once you have a color, give it a texture. What's the texture of it? So it's like this black, dark goo. It's almost like a tar substance for me. And I'm trying not to influence yours too much. Try to tune into your own. So just like be okay with whatever color. It could be a good thing, bad thing. It doesn't matter. Tune into the resistance. Where is it? What color? What shape? What texture is it? What does it smell like? To me, it's like this burning asphalty goo that just like goes everywhere. It's kind of gross. And now I want you to ask it, what does it want? Like just tune into it. What does it want? So if I tune into this dark thing, what does it want? So what do you want? For me, some of you will have a positive thing it wants. Some of you will be negative. Mine was really negative. It's like, it wants to consume everything I've created and burn my soul. That's like what comes up. So I'm like, okay. So if now whatever it wants, whether good or bad, if that had a color and a shape to it, so the feeling of it's going to consume everything, burn everything up, if that had a color, what would that be? To me, it's like this gray oblivion circle, like a vortex that represents consuming everything. I want you to go ahead and give it the thing, whether it's positive or negative, just give it to it. So for me, it's like giving it permission to consume everything, all of it. And I know this might sound counterintuitive, but just do it. I'm going to give it permission, give it that consumption. It's this void, the goo, it has exactly what it wants. So I surround it with it. I just imagine it being part of it and it like consumes it. It like has everything. It just consumes all my success, sabotages me, destroys all my stuff. And then I want you to ask, what does it want? And then define it now. Like, what did it turn into? Some of it might have grown bigger, smaller, might have vanished. There's all sorts of stuff that can happen. For me, it was interesting. After I gave it to it, all of it fully, now it's just like this. It's like a road. It's fascinating. So mine literally turned into like, it's a road. And It's not gooey anymore. It's just a road, pavement, right here. So now you can ask it again, uh, what does it want? And if it moved, yeah, you can move to another place. Just focus on that one area for now, like until that moves or until it changes completely. So for me, I'm going to ask it again, what does it want? This road. I'm going through this just like you guys. So this is actually very fascinating to me. And some of you aren't used to this part of it, which can get kind of intense if you go certain ways with it. So it just kind of let it be, and you can always align if stuff comes up. Okay. But for me, like it's very fascinating. Like this is really profound for me. Um, like the thing that it wants is for me to walk on it and to use it to get where I want to go. Which is really like that's kind of making me kind of emotional thinking about like it's like this all this stuff that was trying to consume me and everything, it really actually just wanted me to use it to be of service to me, to help me get where I wanted to go. It wasn't trying to fight me at all. It actually wanted to lay the path and for me to follow the path. So here's the thing that I would do. I'm going to tap that area, vocalize a couple of the things that it didn't want or did want. So I'm going to say, I give it permission to consume everything and destroy all my success. I'm not afraid of it anymore. I don't have to let that stop me from what I want. And then I'm going to align. And smile. Then the next round that we did was like it wanted me to walk on it and value it and use it to get where I want to go. So I'm going to vocalize this of I value my past and I use it. I use my past and my pains to get me where I want to go. They serve me and are my friend. I don't have to fight them. And smile. Yeah, some of it might want a bad thing, so just give it to it. Be like, cool. If it had a cigarette, give it to it. What else does it want? Right? So some of you might have to do this a couple times. Because I've done this a lot of times, mine usually gets to it with 1 or 2 times. Some of you might have 4 or 5 rounds that you need to do. So what you're going to do is go through, identify what it wants or doesn't want, give it that thing, and then see what happens. And then vocalize that thing out loud, align it, and then do it again. Okay, until there's like nothing really left, like that resistance is gone. So if I think about my goal, where I'm going, think about my goal, I think about the resistance to it. Like to me, it's literally like gone. Like I'm like, holy crap, I can just like walk there. And it doesn't have to be this like convoluted chaos ride. Like it can be just a smooth ride, which is really cool to me. So that's super fascinating. So some of you might need some facilitating. Some of you might need to learn the full process, but I just wanted you to get a little taste of that to start to see some shifts. Did anybody feel some shifts going through it just with a couple rounds? Anybody see something cool happen? Or maybe you need to do a couple more rounds. I'd love to hear just some comments. We're taking like 90 people through this process when I can't see you. So this is my first time to do it this way. Usually I can help facilitate some stuff, but oh yeah, we got somebody. Yes. Sweet. Absolutely. Oh, sweet. Love it. This is the first time I ever did it this way. So I'm really excited to see this. Yes, definitely felt shifts. Very cool. Another layer removed. Thank you so much. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yes. Energy that's moving backwards through the chain. Love it. Woohoo. Okay. Very good job, guys. Way to go. Not really got lost. Yeah. Don't worry about it. If you did get lost, go back to where your focus is. So if you got lost and you're like, I don't even know what happened, because that can happen. Go back to your goals, focus on your goals, right? the goal of where you're going, rate the resistance to the goal, 0 to 10, 10 being the most resistance, 0 being not at all. Tune into that resistance. So it's like, okay, here it is right here. It's an 8. Mine was like right here, and it was like an 8. Then after I defined it, so I was like, okay, what is it? What color is it? What shape? What smell? Then I asked it what it wants. Then I gave it what it wants in a color, shape, and form, surrounded it, gave it what it wanted. And just by doing that, it lessened. Some of it will intensify, and that's okay. And then you tap that area with the thing that it wanted, and then it'll take a different shape, different form, and then you do it again. What does that want? Do it again until it goes from a 10 down to a 0, okay, where there's no more resistance. And that's a really quick way just to work through a lot of resistance without having to get super specific. Okay. Mary, to catch up, this is recorded, so you'll have to just start from the beginning through that. Okay. Okay. Very cool. Awesome job. So you might have to do that a couple rounds. Okay. And I get it. Like, I hope that it was okay that we went through that. Usually I only do that with people who've learned the full process, but I felt like a lot of you could do this. So I wanted to just dive in and do some of this process with you. It wanted a yellow safety blanket made of wool, which is a sheep, wanted to be found by the Savior. That's beautiful. Oh, I love that. Just listening to some of your resistance helped me get clear on what some of mine has been. Good. Was that helpful for me to go through some of my own stuff? Did that help anybody else? I feel like sometimes people teach without actually doing stuff. And it's like, I'd rather just show you, like, this is me real. This is like my real goals. Like, this is how I do it. So you don't have to be perfect, right? You just have to do it. Cool. Okay. So now that we've done a little bit of that, go back to your goal. So I want you to vocalize your goal out loud again. So your goal, relationships, health, wealth, spirituality, and adventure. So for me, it's like, cool. I'm so thankful and grateful now that we've made over $3 million, have over 200 people enrolled in our flagship program. We have our community that has more than 20 times itself. My health is so phenomenal. I have a 6-pack. I'm ripped and be able to have more energy than I ever had before. Relationship with my wife is so incredible, and my kids, I'm more present with them. I'm being able to ask them and be with them and enjoy what they do. We're on adventures in Mexico and doing all these cool things, traveling all over the world, teaching people and having amazing relationships with others and serving and giving back. Spiritually, I'm more in tune than ever. I feel like I'm on fire. I'm able to connect with God in ways that I've never done before. Boom. Okay. So now that you do that again, now we're going to go through, and you could go through the other stuff that I did a couple more rounds if you want to, but we're going to just move on just due to time here. So the next thing, I'm going to vocalize some ideal phrases here. We're going to tap on our body and align to them. Okay. So I can attain and you just repeat back, tap them and align them as well. I can attain my goals and enjoy the journey. So think about your goals. I can attain my goals and enjoy the journey. I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. I don't have to do it all perfectly. I don't have to do it all perfectly. I can fail forward. So tap any resistance when you think about it. I can attain my goals and enjoy the journey. I am unstoppable. I don't have to do it perfectly. I can fail forward. And then align. Good. All right. Next one. I learn through success more than through failure. I learn by success more than through failure. I am good at starting and finishing things. I am good at starting and finishing things. I am great at decommitting and recommitting. I am great at decommitting and recommitting. And go ahead and align. and align. Sometimes you might have stuff come up as well. Sometimes you might sneeze, cough, stuff comes up. That's just shifting, moving through stuff, yawning. It's just called burn off, and that's okay. It's actually a good thing. So let whatever comes up comes up. Good. I succeed with imperfect effort. I succeed with imperfect effort. So go ahead, tap anywhere where you feel it. I can do this. I am worthy of this, deserving, and ready for this. I am worthy, deserving, and ready for this. And align. Good. Okay. I am this. I am this. This is the new me. It's okay for me to let go of any and all connections to my older self. My newer self is more fun and desirable. My newer self is what I really want and desire. I let go of the older version of me. I am done with that. It can go with the old year. I am done with that. I can be the new me and have peace, safety, and harmony while attaining my goals. Go ahead and align. And smile. Very good. All right. Here's a couple more phrases that I want to do it regarding your goal. So look back to your goal, vocalize it out loud, think about that goal. So go ahead and make it real. I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made $3 million, been able to have over 500 people or over 200 people in my, I guess 500 is the one I'm actually wanting. So over 200 people in our flagship program, being able to be super ripped, have my six pack, have more energy than I had since I was a teenager. I have an amazing relationship with my spouse and my kids. I have present time with them. I'm able to be in tune, really focus on their needs, love spending the time doing what they love. We're going on adventures, feeling incredible, going all over the country and into Cancun and experiencing lots of fun things, being able to also be more spiritually in tune than ever before, receiving answers from God, being able to commune with him, feeling more connected to others. And so it is. So as you vocalize that, now we're going to go through this. Setting and attaining goals are fun, phenomenal, and good for me. Setting and attaining goals are fun, phenomenal, and good for me. Goal setting and achieving help me get closer to God or your higher power or universe, whatever your belief system is. Goal setting and achieving me help me, or goal setting and achieving help me get closer to God. That was a big one for me because actually the achieving here was a past pattern that I had where I felt like I would set goals, but I failed at them because when I failed, I felt like that's what got me closer to God, was because if I failed, then I had to rely on him, and I couldn't rely on him when I was successful. I had to rely on God when I failed. So I would actually set myself up for failure because that was the way I got in tune with God. So I'd actually go sabotage, do stupid stuff to get closer to God, which makes no sense. So I was like, well, what if I could actually like thrive and get success and then be closer to God? So that was a huge shift for me because now as I go get my goals, I realize, wow, it's actually the achieving and creation of the goal gets me closer to him. And again, everybody's different denominations of belief systems. So whatever that interpretation is for you, let that work for you. Right. So then go ahead, tap any resistance to that and align. and smile. Good. Okay. Very good. So I want you to think about your goal, tune into that. Obviously, you might have some more resistances and things that you can work through. That's totally fine. You know, some of you might want to do the full alignment going through your goals, but we just want to get through some stuff, like go through. I'm kind of jumping around here to hopefully help shift some of the big stuff here. So thinking about your goal, I want you to tune in and say, it is time for me to do what it takes in a healthy way. It is time for me to do what it takes in a healthy way. I am disciplined and ready, and have been ready since before this time. I have been ready since before this time. I now choose to embrace my gifts and readiness. I now choose to embrace my gifts and readiness. I was prepared for this, and I embrace that preparation. And go ahead and align. And smile. Good. The other thing I want to do is this one. Let me pull it up here a second. My willpower is 100% aligned, and tap your thumb when you do this one. My willpower is 100% aligned to these goals. I am fully responsible and capable. I am fully responsible and capable, and my willpower is 100% aligned. Go ahead and align that. And smile. Good. I want you to tap right here on the brain. My anterior cingulate cortex is 100% aligned. My prefrontal cortex is aligned. My anterior cingulate cortex is aligned. Tap those two areas. These are a lot of the things that deal with cravings and doing things and willpower. And smile. Good. Very cool. All right. Someone says, wow, Tyler, this is also what I just had an aha moment about God. Only depending on him when I had failures and not when I have success. Beautiful. I feel like the biggest mistake I make is feeling that something's outside myself that will drive me forward when it's within. Very cool. Yeah. So I want you to just tap in and say, I have the willpower and the gumption to do it by myself and on my own, regardless of any help. I have the gumption and willpower to do it all by myself, regardless of any help. And go ahead and align. And smile. Very cool. Okay. What are you guys experiencing? What are you feeling? I know by now you should be feeling some stuff, moving, some ideas, some thoughts, some awarenesses, some ahas. So I'd like to hear a little bit of that. What's going on with you guys? I'd love to hear some stuff that you're experiencing. Okay. So go ahead, drop that in the comments here, and we'll go to the next part. Okay. So I'd love to just hear some takeaways, some things. Someone's got a statement. Goal setting and achieving helped me realize the greatness, benevolence, and generosity of God. Love it. Yeah. So if you want to vocalize that, tap and align. Feeling lightheaded. Yeah, sometimes that happens. A lot of yawning and tears. Excited. Want to get going. Itchy. Lighter. Might not be your internet connection because I'm not having that issue. Yeah, sweet. So cool. Sometimes it might happen. Body is vibrating and is calm. Excitement and hope on one side. Overwhelming anxiety is on the opposite side. Cool. Yeah, good to know. So you just tune into that anxiety, tap where you feel it, align it, and totally shift that. It's totally drained. It's good and good. Tells me something is getting dislodged. Big stuff. Yeah. So those of you who get drained while working on yourself, here's a good thing to work on. I don't have to drain myself to make changes. I don't have to drain myself to make changes. I can be fueled and have more energy by making lasting change. Change doesn't have to be hard. I don't have to be tired after aligning or changing big things in my life. I can take back my energy and be in charge of my own self. I don't have to be drained by making changes in my life. I can feel alive and excited and have the energy I need by making real lasting changes. All these are just addictive behaviors that we have. Cool. Okay, very good. So as you go through, whatever resistance comes up, vocalize it, tap, refill, align it. Vocalize it, tap it, align it. Okay. You have the power inside of you to change anything and everything, which is so amazing. I truly believe God has put us on this planet to make massive amounts of change, and not in years, but in moments, in minutes, in seconds. And I believe every single person on here can do that. I believe every single person on the planet can do that. The only problem is that some of our past perceptions counter that belief. And it thinks it has to be hard. It has to be complicated. Oh, it's got to drain me. I've got to be whatever. And it takes on these past perceptions of what we've experienced, and it allows that to be the reality. But who decides our reality? We do. So if we decided our crappy reality, imagine what we can decide on the opposite realm of that, our ideal reality. And every single person listening to this, you can truly do that. You don't have to be a victim to your past situations or patterns or circumstances or situations, anything. You can truly make a change. Yes? Cool. I want to share a story about one of my friends, one of my ancestors, actually. It's found in the Enrollment Effect book. And then what we're going to do is we're going to anchor this in. And then I'm going to show you some cool things of what to do to make this longer lasting. And then we're going to wrap it up. I'll share with you, how many in here would love to learn like the full process of the alignment or get certified as a practitioner or as an instructor? Is anybody interested on here, like to be an instructor, to teach the full process, go through like shift and like be on a journey of transformation this year and like make this kind of feeling consistent in your life? If so, just let me know and I'll drop a link that you can check it out. Cool? Yeah, because we're actually launching it in 2 weeks. Cool. So we've got several people. Let me share a story real quick, and I'll drop the link here just if you want to grab it. This is a link to a consultation. I can't post comments to Facebook groups. Well, maybe that's weird. So let me do this. Let me try this. Let me go to Facebook and see if I can get on my live cast. And maybe this will throw it off, but I hope not. Let me see if it'll work. Oh, there's me. Look at that. I'm going to write a comment on here. Okay. So I just dropped a link. Can somebody grab that and post it again? Did somebody see it? Did it actually work? Let me know if that link works. It should bring up like a place where you can look at stuff. It's called Certified Technique. Did that work? You don't see it? All right, let me try. Let me do this real quick. Oh, there it is. It showed up. Okay, cool. Sweet. Could somebody just repost that for other people? Okay, it's there. Okay, so yeah, if you do want to, I'm going to talk about that a little later, but first I want to share a story. Okay. So when you think about your goal, I have an ancestor, and some of you have heard this, but it's Okay, sweet. There's just a little lag. So thanks, guys. Thanks for doing that. Okay, so I have an ancestor, and he is a Viking, and he was going on. And imagine you're in this position, and imagine you have your goal, right? Your year goal. This is the thing you're working on. So put yourself in his position. And this is a true story, by the way. So he was going along, and there was this race that said whoever was the first to touch the land got to own the land. And it was similar to like the space of like Ireland. It was like a big chunk of land. And he was going out, and it was this race. So everybody's like these Vikings, imagine they're on these ships, and they're like going for the race. Like to go and get the land was huge. Like this was the biggest thing ever. And they're like, yes, I want to go get this land. So he's going, and they're like chugging away, they're going and going and going and going. And it's the first person to touch the land owns it and becomes the ruler of that land. So he's going, and he's losing. He's losing. So you ever felt in life where you're like losing your goal? You're not actually attaining it. It's getting further away. Something else is keeping you from it. That was happening to him. And as he's going, he makes a decision, which means to cut away. And for him, it was a literal thing. But a decision is to sever off. A decision is a form of aligning. When we decide something, it means that we sever off all other options. So for me, when I go get goals, I decide to get them. I don't wish them. I don't hope for them. I decide. I make a decision, because to decide is to sever off all the negative and resistance inside of us, the past patterns that define us. So we must decide. So he decides. He's like, this is my interpretation of how he went, but he was probably like speaking some Viking language, like grunting, And he decides to do something drastic, to do something no one else would, to attain his goal. And with one of his hands on the front of the ship, he takes his axe and severs off his hand, grabs his hand and throws it, because this other ship is ahead of him. And it's the first person to touch the land gets it. So he throws his hand, and it hits the land first before the other ship arrives. So he threw his hand to get his goal. He severed off the idea of losing. Crazy. So this guy literally, and if some of you are like, no way. So here's a picture of him. Okay. So he actually became king of that and ruler of it. And he's called the Black Stranger. And it actually became one of our crests. So there's a little picture of it. And he had this crest, which was the hand. That became his crest. So the thing that he let go of, which was serving him, his hand, actually became the thing that got his goal. And it became his crest. Crazy, huh? So I'm not saying you have to cut off your hand to go get your goals, but you do have to sever off your old self. You have to let go and completely decide to let go of these past things. Those obstacles that are in your way, as you're aligning them, some of them may pop back up if you didn't fully align, but you can make a decision today. Those of you in listening to this, you can decide. All aligning does helps you make a choice, makes you decide in every cell and organ of your body. The problem is you have most of your body doing the deciding for you. But today is a new day and a new choice. And you have a choice to make a new decision today based on your goals. Where are you going? Are you going to allow this year and decide that this year is going to be the best year? But what if the economy goes to crap? What if the president does this? What if the big C happens? What if the bigger C happens? What if all this stuff happens? Can I still have my goals? Who decides? Are you going to let all the external things decide for you? Or are you going to be the creator? Are you going to decide the things that happen in your life? That, my friends, is only up to you. No one can make that decision for you. Not even God has that power. The only person who has that power is you, because you have the power to choose. You can choose to fail. You can choose to succeed. Either way, it's your choice. No one on planet Earth has the power to choose for you or off of planet Earth. That is amazing. And that is a really great thing, which means you can choose. You can make the choices. And you can realize that some of your choices, they might have been happening without your consent. And you can take back those choices and say, actually, I'm deciding to sever off those obstacles. Nothing's going to stop me. And I'm going to reclaim my power. Like someone said, I love your jokes. You got to give your goals a hand. You mean handy way to reach your goal. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love that. So it's a handy way to reach. Oh man, these are too good. These are like all my dad jokes. These are epic. So yeah, you got to get ahead in life by sometimes, using a hand, right? So it's deciding, severing off those old things and embracing your new identity. So today you've got to experience a little taste of aligning your New Year's goals. And you've got to experience some transformation, which is awesome. Now, my question is, you've got your New Year's goals, you're thinking about them. So here's my question. The next 30 days, based on your shifts that you're making, the decisions that you're choosing, over the next 30 days, what's your number one goal? Number one goal that you're focused on. Okay, so go ahead and write that down right now. 30 days, still getting you towards your big goal, but 30-day focus. What's your 30-day focus that if you nail it, boom, 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 it's going to get you closer to your goal? 30-day goal. What is it? Could be financially, health, but what one area? Just pick one area, one focus. What is it? Go ahead, write that down. So your number one goal over the next 30 days to get you the momentum you need to continue on this journey of transformation and getting those goals this year. Okay, we got financial, 75K next month, boom. Sell car and horse trailer, getting funds to get certified as an instructor, love it. These are great. Purge my house, good. Whatever that means. Cool. Get my funnel and webinar online, good. Okay, so you all have your 30-day goal. Get my health back, continue getting my health show, awesome. So with that 30-day goal, what's the number one action that you're going to take this week to get you towards that goal? Like tomorrow. What's the action you're going to do in order to move toward that goal? So write down the action you're going to take to get your 30-day goal, to get your bigger overarching goal. Okay? So one action that you're going to do like within this week and have it be done. Stop being afraid to put myself out there. Cool. So the stop being afraid to put myself out there. So let's say that's a goal this week. So I would suggest the goal would be put yourself out there this week, right? So maybe whoever that is, I don't know. But if I was going to say, okay, to stop being afraid to put myself out there, what would show that I was not afraid to put myself out there? Have that be the goal. So maybe it's go live on Facebook or do 5 posts or something that's like, oh my goodness, or do a webinar or something, right? Put yourself out there. So do whatever it takes to put yourself out there. That should be the goal. 5K income this month, finish webinar slides. Oh, that's my week goal. Love it. Talk with my agent to pitch to networks. Good. Love this. Well done. Okay, very cool. Finish money class from last month. Very cool. Love it. Good, good, good. Get up early enough to get my healthy meals on time, keep my sugar levels normal. Good. So you got your goal. Now, here's the thing. Many of you are going to have setbacks. You're going to have things, goals that you don't achieve. It's just inevitable. Sometimes you'll have something that happens that sets you back. So here's what to do. If you set a goal, let's say you set a goal to wake up and you sleep in. Forgive really quickly. Be quick to forgive. Okay. Because here's the thing, when I set an intention and I break that intention, it actually is a disconnection of my integrity, which then leads me to further breaking integrities. So if I say I'm going to do something, which is a goal, and I don't do it, all of a sudden I'm giving myself evidence that I don't keep my commitments. So then my body's like, why am I going to listen to you? I'm going to do this thing. And it's like, yeah, right. We're in charge, not you, my friend. And so we have given our body control over our destiny by not keeping our commitments. So the quick thing to do, this is a really fast way to make a change, is if I commit to something and it doesn't happen, you can either decommit or recommit. To decommit is, let's say I set a goal and I'm like, I'm going to use this thing and go get this thing. And I'm like, actually, that was the wrong direction. So I'm going to decommit. And you literally just vocalize it, say, I decommit from this thing. It is now off my plate. It's done. I'm not going to look at it again. That's decommitting. It completes it. Say, I'm decommitting from that. I'm done. I forgive myself for not doing it. I decommit from it. Now it clears. Now I can, I can recommit. And I can say, okay, I forgive myself for not completing it. I am going to recommit with a new time frame or a new expectation. And then I recommit and I go do it. Okay. So that will help you as you go through your goal. Don't be hard on yourself when you fall. In fact, expect to fail. You're going to fail. The key is, how fast can you fail and get back up and do it again? And look for the success. Don't fail to just learn over and over and over. Don't become addicted to failure. But fail forward fast, be okay with it, and go towards your goal, right? So don't get stuck in the analysis and analyzing it and Debbie Downing it of like, oh man, I didn't do a good job. I set this goal, and like, nobody cares. Sob story, sob story, sob story. Get out of the story, align, move forward. You're a new person every single day. So you're not you yesterday. You're a new person, new decision. Decide, sever off that old self, move on, go get your goal, right? Awesome. Okay, so that's going to help you move forward. Now, based on everything we did, how many would like to solidify this so that you can continue this feeling consistently over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks? Yeah? Can we go through one more process? You guys still got energy in you? Got time? Got motivation? Yeah. If you're good, let's do it. And then I'm going to share with you a little bit about how to learn the full process or become an instructor or become a practitioner. Okay. So if you do want to learn this, sweet. If you have any essential oils, I want you to think about the frequency of your goals. So think about your goals and just grab whatever oil represents that to you. So I'm going to go over here to my oils. I'm just going to tune into my oils of like, hey, which oil do I feel most inclined to? This one's really coming to me, so I'm just going to pick this one. And I am going to, that's a really good smelling oil. So I'm going to use this, and I am going to put it on my wrists. And I want you to pick a spot on your body. Like if you think about your goal and attaining it, where on your body do you want to remember it? So pick. I literally think that's the one that I just grabbed, Shalice. It's like the pink rosemary. That's funny. All right. So, we're going to go through. That's awesome. So whatever your goal represents, could be whatever oil smell. I want you to tune into your goal and find a spot on your body that represents your goal. For me, when I think about getting all my goals, like becoming that, for me, I'm just going to pick like right in the middle, like right here. Boom. Okay. And for me, if I had to pick a number to represent that goal attaining, like just tune into like a number that might be representing going and getting that goal. For me, it's like 33, maybe because that's what I'm turning. And it's like, it's just like, it's a good number. So it's like, yeah, 33, sweet. So I'm going to tune into this And I'm going to tap that area 33 times. Now, what we're doing is we're putting what's called an anchor point. Imagine you're driving a vehicle and you put on your cruise control, right? Stuff might stop you from your cruise control. So you'll have to hit your brake every now and then. But how do you bring it back up to speed? You can literally just hit your cruise control button and it'll bring it back up. So what we're doing is we're creating a cruise control point for what we just did and this feeling and this experience so that you can maintain it and continue to get your goal consistently. So tune in. You can pick wherever you want on your body and however many times you want to tap and whatever oil associated to your goal. For me, it was this oil at this location and 33 times. So what you're going to do is you're going to vocalize your goal as if you've attained it. Feel and remember all the things we just did. So all of the aligning, shifting the process, like think about the decisions you're making, like who you're becoming, that incredible person, that passion, the things you're doing, whatever type of oil you have, like you, and put it into you, like get excited about it. Now you're going to vocalize your goal. Then you're going to smell your oil. Then you're going to tap that many times and then smile. And you're going to repeat that 3 times in a row. And in between, you're going to change your state. So I'm going to do it to show you how. Okay. So I'm going to think about my goal. I'm going to get really excited about it, get it up to a level 10 excitement. I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made over $3 million this year on funnels, automations. I have the time freedom. I'm able to go be with my spouse and my kids. I'm super present. I'm like living the dream. I feel totally capable. I have reached out and traveled and gone to Mexico and done all these things. We were super safe and it was amazing and fun. I'm able to spend quality time with my family. I feel more in tune. I'm really tuning into God, listening, being able to be led and feel so connected. I've got my 6-pack. I'm ripped. I feel so alive. Everything I do turns to gold. I'm unstoppable. And I'm going to smell my oil. And I'm going to tap that area however many times. So for me, it's 33. And you smile, let it sit. Then you're going to shake it off. Think of something else, completely change your state, like something else. Like get it down. Don't think about it. And then you're going to do it again. I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made over $3 million. I'm being able to have over 200 people through my course. It's amazing. They get so many results. I have multiple 6-figure people and 3 7-figure people who just nailed it out of the ballpark this year. It was so awesome. Oh man, my wife, we're so connected. I have my kids. I'm spending quality time with them. I feel spiritually in tune. Feels so good. I'm vibrant. I have my 6-pack, more energy than ever before. It feels so good. I feel alive and connected. It's so incredible. We've traveled all over the world, have all these things. We've been able to go to Mexico, do all this stuff. It's so cool. And then smell the oil and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Then smile. You should feel really good about it. Hopefully it gives you a little laugh. You feel like really great. And then change your state. Shake it off. Think of something else. And one last time. Okay. So then vocalize it. Get it up to a 10. So thankful and grateful now that I have this amazing relationship with my spouse. We've been able to connect more than ever before. I feel so amazing when I'm with my children. I love doing the things they do. It excites me. I'm super present with them. I feel so grateful now that I'm able to have over $3 million and we've invested, and it's been so cool. We've been able to help build houses and homes and do so many cool things and travel and give back. Oh, it's so cool. I just feel so powerful, so in tune, more spiritual than ever before. I feel like the service we've been able to render has just blessed thousands and millions of people. It's so great. All of our automations are working great. Everything's just doing so well. It feels so awesome. I feel super connected. I feel very present. My 6-pack, I feel ripped. I feel so alive and great. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And so it is. So now what I like to do is I like to create in my phone a place where I host all of my alignments that I do. So I go through my folder, I have a note section, and I have one called alignments. And then I put in my alignment and I write it down. So this is my 2022 goal alignment. You could put down that whole vision in there of your goals. Then I write down the oil and the location. So for me, it's sternum 33 times. And then the oil, you don't have to have an oil, but it does help with the olfactory remembering. I'm going to take a picture. And then I have that to remind myself. So let's go throughout the day and something is off and you don't feel like you're getting your goal. And I actually like to refresh it consistently, especially if it's a big goal. I like to refresh this thing daily, multiple times a day. Okay? Because you want to stay on track, right? And who you are is becoming that person. So what you can do throughout the day, literally just tap that area however many times, and you can even refresh it with that oil. So that oil, you can smell it and then tap. And what that does, it's like when you're stopped, you just hit the button again and you bring it back up to full speed. Some of you, if you're in a toxic relationship, you have to refresh this consistently, like 5, 10 times a day. Others who are already crushing it out, you have a good, stable lifestyle, you might just refresh it one time and you're done. Okay. So others who need more aligning, you'll have to align to other things. I can hold my alignments, or I can be consistent and like do other alignments so that you can truly become unstoppable. Make sense? Cool. So with that, let's get a couple shares. And then again, could somebody post that link? I do have a couple spots available for a consult. And then I'm going to show you high level of what it looks like to do a full aligning, get certified as an instructor, which we just released this year, as a practitioner, and then as an instructor, which we're launching in 2 weeks. So thanks for posting that. So if you want to book a session, it's directly with me and it takes 30 minutes. We're going to go high level, talk about different options, whether you want to learn the process. This year, we're going to be doing it on relationships, and we already did it on wealth. So now we're going to do a full week-long alignment on relationships and on health. So if you want to be a part of any of those, book a consult, explore it. We're giving out a really good special since it's in the creation of, so you can hop on that. So is it okay if I share my screen with you guys real quick to share with you what this looks like? And I love hearing what you said. I feel very energized to have a smile on my face. Love it. Cool. So here is, can you guys see this right here, like this page? It says Abundance Alignment Technique. If I share that screen, did you see that when I had it up there? I moved it back. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to move it back just so you can see it. Okay. So what this looks like, this is some details. So we have like 3 levels. Okay. We have an instructor training, which in this one, the goal is to be able to basically do what I've done. So in the instructor, we teach you how to do our, like, crush out the technique, learn the full process, do it good on other people, and then how to teach it online and in person. And we also go through and teach you marketing. So I've invested like $500,000 in my own personal development, coaching, transformation stuff. And here's some of the stuff that you'll have. You'll be able to, you can walk through and look at all these details. But we have 2 paths. One is the practitioner. One is the instructor course. The practitioner is 6 weeks. The instructor is 12. It starts January 18th. And basically, it's the first 6 weeks are all of the practitioner. And then everything after that is certified instructor. The certified instructor gets both. Okay. But here's some of the stuff. As an instructor, we first talk about gaining a vision and creating a movement. How do you create a movement to change other people and help them master themselves? Then we go through and how to actually master the abundance alignment technique. We go in depth on all these parts. So we go in how to define, how to master the statements, how to get into the inhibitors and enablers and Chinese elements and brain frequencies, muscle testing, foods, objects. We cover a lot of stuff in that. Then we get into facilitating it, even if someone doesn't believe it'll work. So how do you work on other people? And practicing it, doing it like virtual, like how to do it on Zoom versus in person. Okay, so this is all about like mastering the technique, getting really good at helping people change. Then the last 2 weeks, we actually teach you how to package it and then sell it like to one-on-one. So if you wanted to go make a business out of this, a 6-figure business, how to do it where you're not consumed doing sessions all the time, but you would learn how to sell a $1,000 to $2,000 program after putting it all together, where you would facilitate a couple hours a week working on people, but on a journey. Okay. So we're going to get into that. We'll also get into marketing a little bit in here, where how to find and enroll clients, a little bit online and off, and how to get your first 5 to 10 first clients. Okay. So this is going to be really awesome. Many of you will make back your investment within the first 6 weeks of this, because we teach how to sell and how to sell well. Part 2 is the instructor training. So how many in here would love to like get paid to teach people? So instead of just doing one-on-one all the time, what if you could teach the masses and get paid 10 to 20 times more? How many like to save time and make more money while helping a lot of people? Yeah. Well, here, that's called the instructor training. This, and whether you do your own modality or this, you can do both. You can do it all. So if you have your own modalities, becoming a certified instructor will help you get your own modality out to the masses. So we're going to teach you how to hold live workshops, live online and or in person. Right now, there's a huge momentum for live events and also workshops, online workshops, and 10-day challenges and stuff, like live challenges. So we're actually going to get into like how to facilitate workshops, how to teach the technique and do it online or in person. So this is going to teach you that. I teach a lot on body language, how to prepare, how to teach it. Then we get into refining that message in your market, because every single one of you has your own unique story, and your story will decide who you tailor to. See, the problem with most entrepreneurs and healers is we try to help everybody, which means we help no one. And the key is to niche down, make a lot of money in that niche, and then open it up and branch out. Okay. So then week 9, we prepare for your live event, get through any resistance, and you actually do the event. So you're actually going to hold the event while we're going through it, which is really cool. So you're going to hold your first event, and this is where you charge for it. So you're going to get paid to go through this course. It's pretty cool. We had somebody who made their first, how much did they make? They said they made their first $1,500 doing their first event. That was on the front end, not including what happens next. So after you learn this, I'm going to teach you also how to stand out and market like a pro. We've been doing a lot of things through Facebook and YouTube, and I teach you how to build out your own webinar, and it's pretty crazy. So this will actually probably be about 14 weeks, maybe 13, 14, because I'm going to teach you how to do your own webinar and automate the webinar, and then how to drive traffic through YouTube or Facebook. Also, we have the potential of doing some TikTok, depending on one of my friends who might be on here live. But we're incorporating everything that's working with us, and we're seeing and getting all the people who can help get it out to the masses, help you market your stuff. So if you want to teach If you want to facilitate transformation, or if you just want to work on yourself, then the value on this is well over 36 grand just because of the things that you're going to learn. I had to buy like $15,000 courses on marketing, another $10,000 course on funnel building, how to get your automations up, how to tune in your offer, how to actually do processes. So I was sick and tired of having to do certifications where they had like only one part of it. So I wanted to make it an all-stop shop where you could go through everything and experience it. So it is not going to be 36 grand. It's not even going to be 10 grand. It's not even going to be like 9 or 8 grand. So if you're interested and you have anywhere from like 1,000 to 8 grand available or willing to go do it, and you're wanting to shortcut your time, then book a call, explore the options. We've got 3 options. They're different price points. One is, hey, I don't want to teach, I don't want to facilitate, but I just want to go through my own experience. I want to transform my life. I want to learn the full process. I want to get good at my relationships, my health, and money. Book a call. We'll talk about that. Option 2 is the practitioner training. And that one is like, hey, I want to learn how to facilitate it and get really good at helping people change and get paid for it. And the other is, I want to be an instructor. I want to get paid to go teach this technique. Okay. So if you're interested in any one of those and you want to explore, we have all sorts of ways to finance things, to talk about money, talk about time, energy, whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes, but decide and book a call. You just click this button and it'll take you to a place to book a call. You'll fill out a little form and then we'll do it. Okay. So, yep, I did. Made a $1,500 in your first online workshop. Yeah. So we've had multiple people already like go through and, stop sharing. There we go. I was like seeing this weird thing. Already transform and make good at doing this. So if you would like to explore any of those options, we're doing some really cool specials because I'm going to be doing all this live. So my goal is just to really hone in on this. We just did the Abundance Alignment Technique 2.0, and we're going to redo a whole thing on relationships and a whole thing on health. And it's going to be awesome. So you're going to get a lot of support. I'm giving away like tens of thousands of dollars of stuff to everyone who signs up. So we've had people make $700. So you'll earn back your money really quickly if you put your mind to it and you charge what I tell you to do. So if you're like, oh, finances are stuck, just think about where you're going. Like the decision you make to book a call, what kind of person would book the call? Is it the person who's attaining your goals? If so, then book a call. Decide to and book a call. And the link somebody just posted again. Thank you for doing that. You can click that, book a consult. When I always go into things, here's another way to look at stuff. From here on out, the problem with aligning is you cannot be the old self. And that's a good thing. My old self didn't used to invest in myself. My old self waited. My old self worried. My old self struggled, procrastinated. So I knew for me to make the change, I needed to totally transform who I was and how I made decisions, right? To sever off things. So my first coach I hired, it was like a $5,400 thing. And I had to borrow credit cards from people. The next one I did, which was only a month or two later, it was a $3,000 a month investment. So it was like for a year, for almost a year. So it was almost $40,000 investment that I did. And this was when I was making less than the previous year was less than $13,000 a month. But I knew that the person who I wanted to be would make that kind of decision and would own it and would embrace it and do whatever it took. And I packed 40 years of experience in 1 year. That was my goal because I knew most people take 40 years hitting themselves in the head, trying to solve the same thing over and over and over. And they take years. So my goal was to completely transform and help others do the same. So look at this. Yeah, we got all these testimonies. Sold my first 2K upsell doing this instructor course. That was after selling the first AAT class. Yeah. So there's a lot of cool people that have gone through and they have amazing testimonials. So if you would like to explore it and go live, because we're going to go into a lot of marketing, a lot of structures that we haven't taught, then click that link, book that consult, and show up. If you're one of those who's like super wishy-washy and you're not going to show up on the consult, please don't book a consult. Save those for people who are actually going to like do stuff and who are decisive. But if you are decisive and you're serious about moving forward in your life and creating true transformation, click the link, book a consult. Let's explore. And we have 3 options, and I just want to help serve you. Okay. I just want to make sure that you get your goals this year. Do whatever it takes. Move mountains, cut off hands. I mean, keep your hands, move mountains, do what it takes, and totally crush it out this year. Cool? Awesome. So thank you guys for joining me today. Do you have any questions or comments about anything that we talked about? I love this. I love everybody. You guys are awesome. I have a lot of allergies and being seen. Tyler just said, do it. And I did it. Love it. So what questions do you have? Anything that you need help with? I'll be on here till you guys have no more questions. I just want to make sure all your questions are answered, whether it's regarding exploring next level or anything that we covered up to this point on aligning your New Year's goals. Very cool. I started this journey to help me change, and then I realized I had to help others who wanted true transformation in life. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. So many cool things. And yeah, I just want to validate everybody who's gone on this. It hasn't been easy, but it's been so worth it. Like to see people change and do things that they never even thought possible. That is so cool. So where you want to go isn't that far away. It just takes a couple decisions, believing in yourself, completely believing and embracing that, and then going and doing it. And then you can truly embrace that new identity and go create your reality. Yeah? Cool. Mark, yeah, they just signed up. Awesome. Yeah, we're so excited for you guys. So excited. Very cool. So yeah, any other questions or things that you... Yeah, you will make a lot of cool friends. Plus, you get a ton of stuff, coaching, and there's all sorts of stuff, but just depends on kind of which path you want to take. So I'll go over all the intricate details in the call. When we do get the recording back and go over this, had a lot of resistance and overwhelm while going through this process. Tyler Watson, I'm not the same person I was last year. I left a toxic relationship and becoming healthier and healthier. Love it. So glad. Good to hear that. Way to go. Very cool. Well, I just want to thank you guys. Happy New Year. Like, I'm so excited about this year. It's going to be a great year. We have so many things that we're creating, and I'm so excited to see everybody's creating their own stuff. So cool. This year is one of creation. Listening on my phone, can't see the link anywhere. Okay, Marie. So yeah, if it's on your phone, you might just have to go through the comments again. Or go into the group and go into the Facebook group, and I'll also post it in the Facebook group under announcements. Okay. So if you don't see the link and you want to book a session, I think I have like 15 or 20 spots open for sessions for conversations. I'll post this and then I'll put it like as a pinned comment. I think I might be able to do that or something. Yeah. So we'll make sure that you guys get that link if you don't have it. Okay. Well, very cool. Thank you guys so much for your time and energy. Go crush it out. I'm so excited to hear about your goals. And I look forward to talking to many of you and seeing the cool things you're creating. Go out, make this year one of the best years ever. Decide, be decisive. That makes a huge difference. When you sever off that old self, step into new identity, embrace it, live it, continue it consistently, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself more than the limiting beliefs try to convince you otherwise. You just have to be louder, more intense, more aligned than those things. And when you do, they turn tail and run, because when they see who you are, that ideal version of you who's creating this epic journey, they don't have permission to stay. They don't. They don't have a place to stay. And it's too bright. It's too amazing. And they run. And that's the kind of person you are. So I just want to thank you guys for being here. Again, click the link, book a consult. Let's explore. Let's go on the journey if you resonates. If not, totally cool. Either way, I just want to help you get to where you want to go, whatever that looks like. So thank you guys so much. Happy New Year. And if you guys have friends or family that want to watch this, just tell them about it and then have them join the Facebook group, fill out the information. Like, they just got to put like why they like where they heard it from, and then put their email and stuff. That way we know they're not just like spammy people. But if you'd like to share this with others, spread the love, get it out to the masses. I'll even try to upload this to my YouTube account. I don't know if we can do that, but we're going to try it with StreamYard and all that. And that way you guys can share it through that as well. So thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next time. And Happy New Year.